going to France.
Very cool.
Yeah, on a river cruise. All right.
Oh, hi there. So if you recall Table Talk videos from last fall, this is what we do. The Southbury Democratic Town Committee hosts or sponsors this, and I get to interview all kinds of interesting people. The theme in the fall was, of course, about the election, and this year we're starting a series with talking about women in power, which is a dinner that's going to be hosted by the Southbury Democratic Town Committee. But it's also an important theme. And my guest is Christine Edelson. Hi, Christine. We've known each other for a while, and she's agreed to talk about the theme of women in power and about the dinner. So let's just start with a little bit about you.
All right.
Tell us about you, Christine.
Sure. So I grew up in Stamford, and I lived there till I was about 18 and went to college. And after that, I met my husband and decided to leave home and move to Colorado with him. And that was my first foray into power. And it was a little scary for my family, for me to just say, no, I'm going, whether you like it or not.
And you weren't married.
And we were not married, and that was pretty dramatic in 1970. We had only been dating for a very short time, and we wanted to get married, but my family said no, so we just decided to go anyway. And so we took everything we owned and drove to Colorado, and we skied and started a new life together. And while I was there, I noticed there was a need for a preschool and daycare center. So I met another woman at the grocery store that I had worked at, and we decided to start a school together. We were both teachers, and we started a nursery school called Jiminy Cricket. No, that one was called Rumpelstiltskin Nursery School. That was Rumpelstiltskin. But Rumpelstiltskin is still there today. It is all these years later, from 1971 until today. It's moved a few times, but it's still there. And after Colorado, we moved to upstate New York for college for ed, and I started another preschool there in a Catholic church. That one was Jiminy Cricket. And that was an exciting time. I had some very specific ideas on how children should be treated, and I wanted to reinforce those ideas with my little school. So it was a small school in a Catholic church.
Yeah, and then you went on to do develop other roles for yourself.
I did. After I had my first two children, I became really involved in breastfeeding support with women. And I saw that there was a real need for a more professional career in that area. And just about that time, the International Board of Lactation Consultants was conceived, and I was among the first 40 people to be certified as a lactation consultant in the U.S. and all over the world. So people came from all over to take this exam in Washington, D.C. And after that, I wanted to empower other women to have this opportunity as well, because it was an area that women really needed support. Families needed support for breastfeeding, and that was at a time when breastfeeding was just becoming more important, that we saw that how valuable it was. Before that, there were always women that breastfed, but when I first had my own children, it was like, well, only if you're poor do you breastfeed, and if you were able to stay home. So it was either the very poor or the very wealthy who were breastfeeding, and not the middle class women. So this was an opportunity for me to help other women go down this career path and help them to get the education that they needed, and give them the training, the hands-on training, working in my private practice, and then also for them to be able to become certified lactation consultants.
So one of the themes I see here is that you see a need for things, and you go ahead and get the ball rolling and get it done.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate that my husband was able to support my ability for education and encourage me to seek my own path, rather than limit my my power. I've always been able to keep on striving to learn more and do more for women, for other women, for mothers and babies, and also for my community when I saw a need.
You know, it's typical to think of, when you think of women in power, you think of it in realms like business or professions, etc. But what about the power of the woman who stays home or is a mother, etc.?
Well, certainly if we're not empowering women to be the best parents that they can be, we're going to end up with a society that may not be what we want. And not every woman can stay home. Not every woman is interested in being a mother. And so if we can help the women who want to be mothers spend more time at home, as in other countries where you get 6 months or a year maternity leave, that would be fantastic.
In Canada, you get 3 years.
Wow.
The amount you get each year goes down, but you know that's
incremental.
That's a country that really loves its children.
Absolutely, and in the Scandinavian countries as well, they have excellent childcare after the women do go back to work, and so the whole package of nurturing from the family, because it's not just the mother that gets to stay home, the father can take plenty of leave time as well.
Right. So we do want to talk though about the Women in Power dinner. So could you fill us in a little bit about that?
Sure. It's a terrific event that we've planned for May 10th at the Wyndham Hotel here in Southbury. And the emphasis this time for this particular event is that it's in celebration of Ella Grasso's would-be 100th birthday if she was alive. So it's honoring her as the first woman governor in the U.S. in her own right, and that's pretty dramatic, as well as the women's suffrage movement. It's also the 100th anniversary of that. So this is a great way to celebrate the power that women have had for a long time, but now women are finally being able to step out of the shadows and stand up for the power and the intellect and their ability to do many different things. I think that we wanted this event to be a little different, that it would be interactive, and we'll have some facilitators there. It won't be just sitting and listening all night. We wanted people to be able to share ideas and learn from each other at the tables. So I think that everybody will have a great time, and I know there'll be opportunities to mingle with other people who are in power, women, and all different aspects of power. So women that are educators, business leaders, and also some in politics. So I think it's going to be great.
Great. So we're hoping to see you there. The date is May 10th, the Wyndham Hotel. You'll see a link there to check it out and buy your own tickets. And we all hope that we'll see you there. Take care.